All right, we're back in the old setup for a video today. Had to be home for a little bit. I know I just moved out and I'm home already, but it's gonna be a banger today, I promise. Because I don't know if you guys have seen it, which you probably have unless you're sleeping under a rock, but there has been more cheating scandal allegations that are coming out, and this time it's with the 2018 World Series champions, the Boston Red Sox. Yes, apparently the Boston Red Sox were cheating during the 2018 season, not the playoffs. I'll go through all the specifics that was covered in the article made by The Athletic today. Of course, if you want to check out that article, links in description. You gotta pay for The Athletic, but it's definitely worth it. There's a lot of details, there's a lot of stuff to go over. It's not as elaborate as a ruse as the Astros was. There was no trash can, there was no crazy system put in place. It was pretty much straightforward how they were cheating, but that doesn't mean that they still didn't cheat. That doesn't mean that it still wasn't bad, especially when you hear some of the details. It's not the Astros, but it's definitely not something you can just sweep under the rug. It definitely needs to be addressed, and that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. So as always, if you guys do enjoy it, make sure to leave a like. That's the best way to show your support. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, click that sub button, join the team. Remember to get in the comment section down below. Give me your thoughts and opinion on this Red Sox cheating scandal. What do you think their punishment should be? Do you think that it really made a difference? I'd love to hear what you have to say. And remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. Always talking baseball over there. Oh yeah, and SeatGeek 2020. Start the new year off. Go get some tickets. Save yourself $20. Use the code Giraffe at checkout. SeatGeek. Go do it. Get tickets. All right, so this article by Ken Rosenthal, of course, the man, the myth, the legend himself, and Evan Drellich. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I still don't know. But they dropped this big news today about the Boston Red Sox cheating in 2018. Now, here's what the basis of it is at the absolute, the easiest level. Not going to in depth into it. Obviously, I will, though, in this video. The Red Sox were using the video replay room to learn the sign sequence that the catcher was giving to the pitcher on certain situations, guys on base, guys not on base, in order to find out what the pitch sequence is, what the sign sequence is. That way they can have an advantage at the plate. Now, what would happen is that they weren't banging trash cans. They weren't yelling out, hey, fastball, changeup, curveball. What they were doing is that when there would be a runner on base, maybe at first base, maybe second base, maybe even third base, if they could get a peek in and notice some catcher movements or something that a pitcher's doing or something with the signs like from second base, they would then relay that sign to the guy at the plate. So the video room was being used to find out and learn the sequence, and then on the base paths is how they would relay it. So they would see the sequence that they know is for that certain pitch or for that certain play that they thought was coming, and then they would relay that to the batter. So let's say they would tip their helmet, or they would take a lead off first base with their left foot first, or they would stand on the base and look at the outfield. Something along the lines of that would go ahead and give the batter the indication of what pitch is going to be coming based on what the sequence was and what they thought they saw from the video replay room and learned on the base path. So it's not as elaborate, it's a little more straightforward, and honestly, it's a lot less worse, but that doesn't mean it's not a problem. This is still a problem in Major League Baseball, and while the Red Sox got caught just like the Astros did, they are not the only team that is going to be involved in this. They are just going to be spearheading what is going to be a lot of teams that you're going to hear about cheating scandals probably in the next year or so. Even in this article, just like the one with the Astros, they talk about how the Red Sox are not the only team. This is an issue in all of Major League Baseball. It gives examples in the past where teams were doing this with video replay rooms. One of the teams that they talk about is the Yankees. In 2015 to 2017, the Yankees were doing something similar, using the video replay room to help relay signs and steal signs from pitchers and catchers. They weren't on the same level as the Astros, but doing something similar to the Red Sox. And again, those aren't the only teams. It seems like pretty much every team in baseball was abusing the video replay system to gain access as to what signs were being called, what pitches were coming, and give themselves an advantage. One, it's just cheating. It's flat out cheating. You shouldn't cheat in baseball. I think we know that. Even if the rule technically wasn't in place back in the day, like 2015, 2017, it wasn't strictly enforced, you're still cheating. You know that you shouldn't be using cameras to find out the sign sequence. Was it a loophole in the rules? 100%. But that doesn't necessarily mean it was right. Do I think teams that did then should be punished? No, really don't care. It's over and done with. I do not care. Like, the punishment to me just really doesn't matter. Just get this stuff to stop, because this is not a good look for baseball, who's already struggling with their image right now in the grand scheme. The last thing you want right now for a sport that is kind of, getting older and older and is sometimes losing the younger audience is for these big scandals to come out and just make the sport look worse than it is. Because I love baseball. You guys know that. I think all of you guys watching this video love baseball as well. Otherwise, what are you doing on this channel? I can't imagine you're just a little interested. But we need baseball to be at the top of its game right now. You're competing with all the other sports in America. Honestly, soccer's starting to compete now. It's getting more popular. I'm even wearing an AC Milan sweatshirt today. We need to keep the negative press away as much as possible, and Major League Baseball is doing the right thing by coming out and saying that these are issues. You have to address them. You can't just sweep them under the rug. That would be a huge problem. We know what that was with the steroids. They clearly swept that under the rug. But we need teams to stop doing this, and MLB needs to crack down on them so that they stop. So now let's talk about it a little more in depth, even though that was probably pretty in depth. I was talking for like 4 minutes about what happened. But it all starts back in 2017. The Red Sox and the Yankees were punished for basically cheating again. We know about the Apple Watch controversy. We know the Red Sox were doing some sketchy stuff as well. It was like a fine, and it ended up going to like a hurricane relief fund. So it was good. I mean, it helped something out in the positive. But after that happened in 2017, Rob Manfred came out and said, we're stopping this. The video replay room is not to help find signs. It's not to figure out the pitch sequences. It's nothing else but for video replay help. And the Red Sox chose to ignore that. During the 2018 regular season, they were using the video replay room to help gain an advantage and find out what signs were being called, find out the patterns, find out the sequence, so that when they had guys up at the plate and guys on base, they could figure out what pitch was coming. As you heard me say, the video replay room was the biggest issue. That's the start of the whole operation. They were looking at what was being called relaying. Similar to the Astros a little bit. Now the Astros kind of set up their own little ghetto version of the replay room in the tunnel between the dugout and the clubhouse, but the Red Sox and some other teams that haven't been mentioned, and it's really not important, but the Red Sox were using the legitimate video replay room. Now here's the problem. There was nobody in the replay room. It was literally just the Red Sox guys. There was no MLB executives. There was no MLB people to kind of keep a check and balance on it. They were just like, regular season, do what you want to do. It's the replay room. Who cares? We got 30 stadiums. We don't need to put a guy in every single one. We trust you. It was an honor system. And as we know with many things in life, honor systems don't work. People try to get advantages any way they possibly can. And that's not really necessarily a bad thing. That's just human nature. You are trying to get the best that you can possibly get at every single time. You want the best outcome possible for yourself. So I don't fault the Red Sox for doing it, but it can't happen. And part of the problem was that Major League Baseball didn't have strict enough rules. And then when they did put in the strict rules, they weren't really even enforcing them because the Red Sox did this for the entire season. Now, there were some rumors that teams were becoming kind of a little bit keen to the idea that the Red Sox might have possibly been cheating. And during the playoffs of the 2018 season, there was a representative in all the video replay rooms making sure that none of this funny stuff was happening. And as this report and this article says, nothing was going on during the 2018 playoffs. So for the playoff run, the Red Sox are safe. But for the regular season, where they scored the most runs in Major League Baseball, had the best record in the AL East, they won the World Series, that's going to be a problem. Apparently, there are 3 people that were with the Red Sox during the 2018 season. We don't know if they're players, coaches, trainers, whoever they are, but there's 3 guys that have basically come out and said pretty much the same story, that the Red Sox were using the video replay room to help steal signs. One thing to note is that the replay room in Fenway is extremely close to the dugout, which in some stadiums, it may not be the same case. It may be a little further away, maybe on an opposite end of the stadium. But in Fenway, it was right down the hall from the dugout. So the players could literally run back and forth similar to the Astros and figure out what the sequence is, get on base, relay that to another batter. It was a very easy way for them to cheat, honestly. It's way too easy. The other thing to note is that the Red Sox weren't just doing this in Fenway. For replay video reviews, the team gets guys to travel to every single stadium. So this was something that was happening pretty much all year long. This wasn't just a home field advantage type thing like maybe the Astros were doing in Houston. This was probably something that was going on for the entire year. As I previously mentioned, you couldn't do it in the playoffs. It wasn't viable. MLB had representatives in all the replay rooms to make sure that none of this funny business was happening and just keeping things in check, which is what they should have been doing the entire season. Relay system, similar to the Astros, but different. They were just straight up stealing signs in real time. This at least involved a little bit of kind of studying. Like the Astros just flat out cheat. They're like, we want to take the easy way out here. Let's get it. Oh, change up, boom, 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 change up. The Red Sox at least were like, all right, let's study and make sure that we get this down. And then when we get on the base, we can do it a little more nonchalant than just beating the hell out of a trash can. Because now that we see the videos and we hear the noises, boy, it was so obvious what the Astros were doing. How did we not see it early? It's important to note that the Red Sox and the Astros are not the only teams that have cheated thus far. We don't know what other teams are involved. We don't know if other teams are going to even be mentioned. But as of right now, we know that the Red Sox and the Astros are 2 teams that have definitely cheated since these rules have really been put in place, and they've been kind of egregious with them. One interesting thing to note about the Houston Astros and the Red Sox connection is that the Red Sox manager in the 2018 season, Alex Cora, came from the Houston Astros organization, and of course in 2017, the year prior, they were cheating. That was their big elaborate plan. So is this a big issue with the Astros culture over there in Houston? Did they breed cheaters? Was Alex Cora a big piece of it? I mean, it feels like it. If he's going to be with the Red Sox and they do something similar, he's the manager. I know he can't control everything, but at the same time, someone needs to be held responsible. You're going to hold the GM responsible, the manager. You got to keep these guys in check. And it seems like Alex Cora had to have known what was going on, especially if he was a part of Houston, and then the next year with the Red Sox, he's doing a similar thing. That's an issue. Do I think other teams aren't doing this? No, of course not. I think this is happening all across the league. All teams have their video replay stuff. Teams might call in on the phone. They might use the bullpen phone, even though that stuff's getting a little bit more tough to do now. They've definitely regulated that a lot more and again, become more strict. That was part of the reason with the Yankees and all this other stuff in the past. But it was just way too easy to cheat. That's really what it comes down to. And unfortunately for the Red Sox, they got caught. I don't think you take away their World Series. Let's not get crazy. They still won it. They still deserved it. It's still incredibly hard to play the game of baseball. They got an advantage, but also at the same time, you're not changing any of the history. You're not taking away the World Series for them. If you're not taking away from the Astros, you're not taking away from the Red Sox. It's important that this news comes out because, of course, the Red Sox do need to be held accountable. They cheated. They need to be punished, and they went against the rules very obviously, especially when they're told, hey, don't do this. We know you were doing it. Stop it. And they're like, nah, we're going to do it again. And in this article, article, it even talked about how some of these guys that were involved in these cheating scandals, they came from other organizations, they came from other teams. They weren't necessarily just Red Sox guys or just Astros guys. I don't know the truth to this, but they could have came in from the Rockies, they could have came in from the Orioles, they could have came in from the Mets, the Tigers, the Blue Jays. These players were coming in with experience from other teams on how to do similar cheating kind of scandals. So this is a problem for Major League Baseball. The Red Sox and the Astros are just in the forefront of getting caught. To me, this is bad. This isn't a good look. You want to not see cheating going on in your sport, especially in baseball, which has kind of a cloud around it of cheating in the past. Pete Rose is out of the Hall of Fame for cheating, apparently betting against his own team. You have the Black Sox scandal all the way like at the start of baseball. You've got the whole PED era. You've got a lot of cheating around the name of baseball. Let's try to keep it at a minimum, guys. Please stop cheating. But overall, my opinion on this is that the Red Sox cheated. They should be punished, but nothing crazy. Give them a fine. Maybe Alex Cora suspended for a couple games. But at the end of the day, it was 2018. It's over and done with. You can't really do anything else. Biggest thing is that it cannot happen again. And MLB needs to be vigilant. They need to keep an eye out for these teams. If they are found cheating during the season, then you can come down hard on them. But right now, there's not much you can do about the 2018 season. It's over and done with. The Red Sox were the World Series champions. I still think they deserve to have won it. They were the best team without a doubt. Did cheating help them? I think so. But did it make them the World Series champions? Absolutely not. I'd love to know what you guys think about the Boston Red Sox cheating scandal down in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear what you have to say. Remember to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it, as well as subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, click that sub button, join the team. You know, the camera might have switched angles a couple times this video, but it's got a ghetto setup here as everything's in my apartment right now and I'm back home today. But I figured with this huge news, I had to give you a video regardless of where I was. Otherwise, that's gonna wrap up today's video. You guys know the drill. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here, as well as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you so much for watching. Baseball team, stop cheating, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Hopefully, we're not talking about cheating anymore. I'm done with it. Bye.